For reasons I will never understand, people have asked me specifically, okay, what do you think that New Jersey drone thing was all about? What was it about? Come on, you know, as though I know, as though I have some kind of briefing. I always want people to think that I know, because that's part of the business that we're in, this business of show. But I remind people of this notion of this thing called a McGuffin. And for those who are of cinema lore, a McGuffin is an object or a device or an event or something in a story that serves, and I read, as a catalyst for the plot, but is often of little importance in itself. In actual movies, its primary role is to motivate the characters and drive the narrative forward. The McGuffin is often a mystery or a goal that the characters pursue, but its actual nature or significance may not matter at all. We may never find out. The term was popularized by filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock, who used McGuffins in many of his films, such as The Briefcase in Pulp Fiction or Microfilm in North by Northwest. While the McGuffin can be important to the characters in the story, the audience's focus is typically on the action relationships or conflict it triggers, not in the actual item itself. So what the drones were was simply a McGuffin. It made us react to it, but the issue was not the drones, but the way we reacted. What do you think it was? What could it be? Is it Putin? Is it Russia? Is it Iran? Somebody actually said, and this is the most important thing, somebody actually said, which I just find fascinating, that there was an Iranian mothership. A mothership actually said this. This is the thing that I say. Don't say this. Iranian mothership parked off of what? Off of Port Newark? What are you talking about? And that's what made us go crazy. We even had Bethany Schmeckle, one of the nobodies from one of the millionth housewife shows. She said, I knew somebody said it could be a W. She actually used the word W. It could be a W. It could be a W. Actually said this. Like WMD. Then later on, I think there was some subject about whether she claimed she was threatened, but it doesn't really matter. But the point is, everybody had some idea. Then there was a talk about whether it actually could detect low-grade radiation from let's say shipments or pieces that were missing. That's why it was flying at night and lower. And it just went on and on and on. And then as we talked about it, it created its own gravity, its own excitement, its own focus, its own, you know what I mean? And so it became the McGuffin. It wasn't important. The reaction to it was important. The calls for it, the excitement, what is it? And they're very, very simple. Knock it down, see what it is, open up, look at the circuit, look, is there a camera? It's just like we talk about geoengineering. Who are these planes? Send a jet, go fly next to it and say, what are you doing? Why are you spraying this? Nobody's ever been able to do this. Nobody's ever sent a fighter jet. Who is spraying this? Sir, pull over. Why are you spraying this? Get real close to it. We don't know. Just like UFOs, we don't have pictures of it. We don't have a real good picture. What? Does this not have a shape? Does this not exist? Does this not have any kind of... We think it does. What do we have? Vague kind of things of lights and, We're here. We saw during the barrage... And by the way, a lot of these drones were promoted and were helped out by a lot of private citizens who were incredible. This is the most important thing in the world. Listen to me very, very carefully. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. This is something which goes to show you that the most important and fascinating aspect of everything is not necessarily in the item, but in the discussion. Could this be false flag? Was this limited hangout? Whatever particular phrase you want, that's all that matters. All we know is simply this. After all of the attention that was paid, and all of the worry, and all of the fear, and all of the excitement, and all of the horror, and all of the concern about nuclear attack and God knows what, after all was said and done, guess what? We don't know. It was the McGuffin. It was, again, it was this wonderful thing. It was this thing. It was the object, device, or event in a story that serves as a catalyst for the plot, but is often of little importance in itself. Its primary role is to motivate the characters and drive the controversy, drive the excitement, and also to let the government see what happens in how you react. As I've said before, I found out, much to my chagrin and shock, that 87% of the people who watch my videos don't subscribe. I don't know why. We're going to end that. Subscribe now, my friend. Like the videos. Hit that little bell so you'll be notified of live streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I beg, beseech, implore, and importune you to comment as you see fit.